Think you know the Brooklyn Nets, the new roster, the hottest practice facility in the NBA? How about the new coach and GM? There's a lot to learn about the all-new Nets. Get your insider's guide and see why Brooklyn basketball is roaring back in 2016. Season tip-off in Brooklyn, Saturday at 11, right after the PIX11 news at 10. PIX11 presents a new season with new faces. Brooklyn's in the house. It's your season tip-off. Here's your host, Andy Adler.
Really enjoyed that conversation. He is such an authentic, down-to-earth guy. And you heard him there, he used the word fun. And yeah, fun is the operative word. But I think Kenny would agree that it's only fun if they're winning. And that brings us to Jeremy Lin. Look, let's be honest, he was brought here under a lot of hype. But Jeremy wants to prove that he's more than just hype, but about results.
The last time we saw Jeremy Lin play for a New York basketball team, things went pretty well. But that was then. And Brooklyn is about the future.
Is Lin's sanity played out, or are we going to see that again in New York?
I think I'm grateful for the experience. I mean, do I like it when everyone calls me that or refers to me or only thinks of me as that? You know, I would say, it's not my preference, but...
What is your preference?
I mean, I just kind of want to be seen for who I am.
So who is Jeremy Lin? Well, in the simplest terms, he's a basketball player who somehow exceeded expectations, who somehow became a superstar.
I think what's fascinating about you is that you've become such a phenomenon in a lot of respects. Why do you think that is?
I think there's a lot of different reasons. There's obviously the Asian aspect. There's the Harvard aspect, or the underdog story. I feel like there's a lot of different elements in my story, and that's kind of what appeals to certain people.
Jeremy, do you still consider yourself the underdog?
I mean, in this setting, in this team, absolutely. I feel like, even just 2 years ago, I couldn't even get a minimum deal or a minimum offer from some of the teams in the NBA.
Let's be honest, Jeremy thrives on being the underdog, but he's no longer the young kid trying to make a name for himself. Now it's time to step it up, and Jeremy knows it.
It kind of comes down to you and Brooke for leadership, and that's something that Coach is talking about. Yeah. You haven't necessarily taken that leadership role on other teams.
Yeah.
It changes your mind frame a little bit, right?
It does. You always got to be on, and for me, but I'm more comfortable in a leadership position. I was all that growing up, high school, college. That's what I feel like I'm born to be. I'm glad I'm able to get that shot in the NBA. With a team where me and Brooke are kind of. We have to lead the way, and we have to set the tone, and we have to take this team as far as we can take it.
What's the first thing you plan to do to set the tone? I mean, this is just beginning. What's the first course of action?
You just got to get out here and start working.
Yeah.
I think that's what respect comes down to.
And for Jeremy Lin, that's what this is about. Respect. Earning it, maintaining it, and proving that while the Nets are coming off a dismal season, it's a new year. Let the Nets' sanity begin.
If Vegas put some odds on my life, it's not. That's the great thing about sports is odds don't matter. Like when the ball goes up, like no one cares about what the odds are anymore.
He's right, the odds don't matter, but the numbers do. When you look at these numbers from Jeremy Lin just this past season, he was solid with the Hornets. Obviously, the Nets hoping for similar results, and I have a feeling that having Michael Jordan as your mentor didn't exactly hurt. Coming up next,